Hey everyone, it's Graphic back with another video, and today I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that happened on tournament day, or really before the tournament. So in the beginning, I didn't know for sure if I'd be playing with Beer Belly Boys because they had a squad, and we didn't know which squad we were going with, Squad 1 or Squad 2. So I was looking to actually sub in for Vita's team, and I actually looked and played with Vita the night before, and it looks all good. So we're going to probably play with each other during the tournament on Saturday, and then they actually sent this. So basically I was saying, if you make top 8 with a roster, you don't need to change it up mid-event. You've done well enough. Why would you change it? You made it to Sunday. And this is what Skodo says. He says, well, I'm the one making decisions, which is kind of weird to even say. But then he goes and says, and I know for a fact the guy missing on Saturday would give us a far better chance of winning in top 8 than you would, even if we made it there. Again, really weird way of saying, you are way worse than the guy that we have you replacing. So just a really kind of weird DM to send. So, and again, I did not like this DM, obviously, so I told them right away, yeah, I'm not playing with you guys. If I made it on Saturday to Sunday, I deserve to play Sunday. So again, I backed out of this instantly, said I'm not going to sub for Vita, and then we go on to actually play Vita in the tournament. So if you guys see this here, we actually have first round of the pool play versus Beer Belly Boys and Vita, which I ended up playing on Beer Belly Boys, thankfully, because we ended up seeing that the squad had a lot of potential. So you can see here as well, as we go into the probability or winner probability for the NA Elite Series, the F5 Penguins, of course, 31% on top, Azir FC 16%, Finesse 7%. Vita, some reason, got a 5% winner probability. I didn't know at the time that they were actually thought of as that good. I didn't think them as anything too special. I like a few of the players on the team. I think they're a good team, but did not think that they would be the same percentage as Voidbound, as we saw how good Voidbound actually played. So a very, very interesting winner probability here, and I want to jump now into the actual series. So we played them, like I said, round 1 after all this took place just a couple days before. And let's take a look at how this all goes down. So to start the game, we're looking to just put pressure and play our game, which is really one of those things that a lot of teams are trying to do, is play their game without separating from what they know or do best. Here I get a decent little block on that potential blade shot. I don't know if he's going to actually shoot that from that far away, assuming that was going to be turned into a pass, but either way, getting possession back is a great thing. We're going to send this back over to Rob across as he's wide open. He's going to send it back over to me. I'm going to be looking middle. It does not make it all the way there. A little short on the pass, or a little, too soft, or maybe could have put it behind me so I could have go back to get it. But either way, we're going back to defense here. 0-0, 5 minutes left. Trying to get a back pass, really. Trying to make sure we get possession back to our goalie. One guy we trust a lot, and ironically, we do trust him a lot because you can see it in a future game. But we do send the ball back to Friend quite a bit, and that's because starting our offense where we know Friend has the ball and they're going to put pressure on him gives us a numbers advantage right away. So we're going to start off with the crosses. A lot of people calling this the missile crisis. That is exactly what you're seeing, is a lot of people in a lot of teams using exactly that. So basically the missiles across from the goalie, or really from anywhere, but the goalie is one that we use a lot for this. Just sending it across to the box and hoping that we win prio. It's one thing me and Phoenix are very good at, is winning prio on that missile as well. So something worth doing as well, because you got to remember, if they knock that ball out, we're still going to get that possession back most of the time, because they're sending 3 in the box to defend it. As we only have 2, we're going to get that ball back even if it fails. So it's one of those that right now is definitely a high tier in the meta. I'm trying to ask for the ball here from Friend. He doesn't, he's not really able to get it because of the bad animation he got from that ball catch that he had in net. So we're going to reset. Basically, A5 is going to send this over to Phoenix. Phoenix is going to take a couple taps. I'm looking for the ball to see if it comes to me. I was going to head over to the net, but Phoenix does lose the ball possession at the top of the box. Rob's going to be running back to try to get on defense. A5 is watching the middle. The crossover doesn't work because A5 is pushing for even farther and farther in, which is just good defense. Friend is going to grab that ball, and we're going to be back on offense. 1-0, 4 minutes left, feeling pretty good. Again, this is our first series of the entire tournament. So here I'm looking for a cross. Rob's going to be able to get me the ball. I'm going to get blocked. It was a bad position for that shot anyway, as I had it dead center of the net. So maybe just a little nerves on the shooting right now. It doesn't look like it's being placed too well, but I think that does change here soon. So we'll continue to watch as A5 gets the ball. He goes to the top of the box. I'm going to look for another kind of sneaky cross. He goes for his own little blade shot. Not a bad idea. Does get blocked, unfortunately. So here we do have something that does start to happen to us a little bit is we're not getting back on defense fast enough to where they're getting free transitions because we're playing A5 more as a midfielder than as a defender. And sometimes he needs to rotate more as a defensive player. Definitely being up one potentially in this situation that, really we're just trying to make sure they don't score, but we want to continue to pressure. But again, making sure they don't get 2-on-1s is a big deal. So here I'm looking for A5, going to give him a nice ball, but it's actually going to Phoenix because A5 runs it a little bit too far. Phoenix covers the top box. Works great though, as we had a great little shot opportunity there. Does go off the crossbar on the side, but Friend with another great save, kind of forced to shoot that on the outside edge where Friend's going to grab every time because he has enough reaction time. So Phoenix is going to send this one across over to Rob. Rob's going to have this ball. I'm looking for a ball here from Rob. We'll see if I end up getting it on the cross, and it's just a little over my head. So I don't know if he thought I was going to stand still there or just a bad ball, but unfortunately just too far on the ball, the pass there. So A5 is going to grab this one. He's going to send this one to the box, kind of on a dribble, and he has a bunch of space, so he's going to use that. He's going to send it over to Phoenix. Phoenix is also going to have some space. He's going to go for some headers into a solo play. It does look like that was a bad placement for the shot as well. So just some bad placement so far on the shots, or we had a lot more opportunities, it feels like, so far. A great play from number 3 there. I don't believe that is probably Sainez, but a really good opportunity for them as well. But Friend, again, one of the best goalkeepers in the game, is able to pick that up very easily. So Rob has some space, so he's going to take his space. He's going to see Phoenix in the corner. He's actually going to send that back to Friend. Here we have 4 and 3 both pressing, so they're going to have an opportunity here on a bad pass to take advantage of potentially a 2v1 with Rob. But A5 is kind of getting back now. They took it a little bit too slow, so now we do have 2 defenders back. I'm trying to get back as well to get some help. Rob gets slide tackled on as he grabs that in the middle of the box, which is great. So Friend's going to have the ball, and we're going to have an opportunity to play some offense. Again, up 1-0, minute 30 left. Really, we don't need much to win this game. Really, we just need to play defense. So we're going to only shoot if it's wide open, and that one is. A5 is looking like he's coming across the box, top box, and it's a free pass to him on a lob, and he puts it in a good spot. So let's take a look at this one. As we get it to the corner, he runs up. It's just basically a 1-2 or a give and go, and it's a good shot, and there you go, 2-0, minute 30 left. This one should be over as long as we play our game. Again, this is all about what we're trying to do, is get a lead and then play our game at a more defensive style, but still trying to score. So hopefully when we're up a couple, we have Rob kind of dropping back automatically. A5 is going to be playing more of a defensive center mid instead of an offensive center mid. And then, less pressing. We don't really need to press. We can sit back in the box and just deny anything. So here you see another great save, another good defensive stop from the team, and Phoenix is going to get this ball with some time in the middle. He's going to send it over to A5. A5 is going to just kind of look around for another passing opportunity. Since it's a Rob, Rob's going to send it to A5. I'm going to be in the small, short corner. I'm going to have the ball. I was looking to send it to A5 potentially there, but we really, like I said, don't have to force anything. So I'm going to send this back out. Unfortunately, it's actually a bad ball. I thought we would have somebody there. We had Phoenix and A5, unfortunately, kind of in the same corner, so I was looking for one of them to come out. Just misread the play, so I didn't get anybody to come out to that ball. But here we are, 2-0, 30 seconds left. It's looking like a good chance at winning, and this would be a good morale booster for the day because, again, starting the game off, beating one of the teams that were actually predicted to win it, which is just crazy in my opinion, like I said, but also with kind of not the beef, but you know what I mean, some of the drama taking place with Skodos and the DMs and stuff. It's a nice one to get a little start on, to be honest. It's 2-0. They didn't really ever have an opportunity that was too crazy. They had maybe one that looked like they had a really good chance. But, yeah, again, with Friend being who he is, I wasn't too worried about it. So we're going to intercept that ball to the corner. Last shot, it's over. So we're going to go over to game 2, which, again, is a very, very eventful game 2. So to start this game off, they are actually going to send it over to our side because we don't restart the game every time. So they're going to give us the ball to start the game so it's even. A lot of teams are doing this. I don't know if it was actually in the roles or not, but we did the same thing to everyone else as well. So Rob's going to have the ball. He's going to send it back to Friend. Friend's going to have the ball again. This is how we like to start our games, at least, getting a nice crossing opportunity. So here, I try to get that bottom right corner. The goalie does a good job at getting in the way of that one. But I thought maybe I could sneak it around. So maybe go for a header, a high header next time if he's going to play that far out. But we'll see what ends up happening. So Rob's going to get a nice deflect there. He's going to have a nice little rainbow over top. He's going to send it to me. I'm going to have to see Phoenix across. Phoenix is going to get the ball. He's going to go for a blade shot, dead center. And it's a great start. A 1-0 start, 5 minutes, 21 seconds in. And we are already looking like ourselves in a great transition play there. And again, a really, really good team to actually take advantage and beat very early like this. So another thing you're going to see here is I'm going to continue to play up to the line on a lot of these defensive plays, but never past the line typically. And that's not because we're ahead. It's just that's how you play the game, in our opinion, is not going across that half line. There's no real point. So Phoenix is going to send this one down. It's going to be a little bit too far. Can't cut it off, so it's going to be a waste of possession. Not a bad play, but I just could not catch it. And he definitely thought I had the angle there for a second. So no big deal. I'm going to play, like I said, right on the other side of this half. Make sure they have a little bit of pressure if they try to walk it up. And they're going to try something in the middle, but we have really good defense in the middle. We've been practicing that a lot because the entire game is played through the box. And I don't know if people realize that yet, but practicing the middle box is going to be how you become a better player. Another great little pass and shot here to Phoenix. I'm going to be using Phoenix quite a bit in this game, and that's something you'll see. I mean, this is a great opportunity for us. There was a great little peek hole for that shot, for that pass, and then he puts it in a good spot for the shot. So I would consider this a really, really good start. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. We're already up 2-0. Morale's got to be a little bit low on the other team, I assume. So they're going to send this across. A5 is going to deflect that with a good tackle. I'm going to try to stay on this ball. I'm going to get a couple good tackles, but again, cannot tackle forever. They are going to eventually, or I'm going to eventually run out of stamina and slow down. So they are able to get that ball out to the top. Again, 2-0, 4 minutes left. Let's see what they can do. So he sends this one off the wall. He's going to go middle with it most likely, and he does. A great little deflect there. I'm going to tackle this guy in the corner. Another tackle to get possession. But it does look like it's going to be a tackle fight because he actually gets around, though, and almost has a shot there on Friend. So that's kind of my fault there. It was just a really weird situation. I need to get better at those corners. Usually I feel like I play them pretty well, but that was not ideal. So we are going to get the ball back here. I'm going to probably just send it across. A lot of open people across the field. A5 is going to have the ball. He's going to send it back. I'm going to try to go to Phoenix across. Phoenix is going to shoot that ball. A really good opportunity there. Almost has it, and then he still gets the opportunity because to grab that ball from Phoenix or get in the way of Phoenix there, he had to push the outside edge of the box. So he goes across it, drops the ball, and Phoenix gets a free open net. So really, really cool that we are playing our game and continuing to get so many opportunities. A 3-0 in 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. We're feeling really good. So we're going to continue to play our game, like I said, and continue to try to get that mercy. So A5 is going to get this ball in the corner. I'm going to try to help him. Double team is always necessary. If you have two guys that you are guarding out on the edge, there's no point in not double teaming there because I'm fine with giving the ball to somebody in open space that is way across the field. And that's something that a lot of people need to realize is double teaming is perfectly fine in a lot of scenarios. Here, I'm going to send this over to Rob. Rob is going to send it over to A5. A5 is going to have a shot. Just missed. He's going to try to get that in the bottom left corner. Just barely missing that one, though. So we do have an opportunity here to play a little bit more defense, thankfully. We need some defensive practice. A lot of these teams are going to shoot a little bit more than what we're seeing right now as the pull only gets harder. I believe next game we play Finesse. So if we can win this series, we play Finesse, which is a very aggressive team, and we'll have a lot more offense than what we're seeing here most likely. So Phoenix is going to get that ball in the corner from A5. He's going to be looking at it, maybe a crossover to me because I'm pretty open. I'm looking at A5 in the middle, probably going to give him a pass. There it is. And they still have just one guy left. So maybe Phoenix is going to hit me here. I'm looking for that bottom right corner, but it does come behind me, it looks like, or maybe it got deflected. But really unfortunate because it did look like we had an opportunity there. But they're going to send us over to 3. 3 is going to have the ball in the corner. They really haven't done much. And again, all they're trying to do is just get an opportunity in the middle. So we're actually going to skip forward about 1 minute here just to get it kind of picked up the pace because, again, we are up 3-0, so it slows down a little bit. But here's an opportunity for them to actually score again. They missed the pass to the corner. Rob's going to send this one up, and number 5 is going to grab it. I'm going to thankfully dive right in the middle of that one and send it home. So a mercy, 30 seconds left, 4-0, feels, like I said, really, really good. I do want to go into the next game, though, and see if we can continue this momentum because this is a best of 5. They could reverse sweep. Let's go into game 3 and see if this trend continues or if they do get that reverse sweep started. So whoever wins this ends up going to play Finesse in the winners rounds. So let's take a look at what can be done this game and if we can continue that progression to getting another 4-0. So here we're going to make sure we guard 4. We're going to boost over to him. We have 3 in the middle. It looks like nobody's really guarding this guy again. I do the same thing as last game. I jump in the middle with a little dolphin dive to stop a potential, I don't know if that was going to be a shot or a pass again, but it looked like it was definitely a blade shot of some sort, pass or shot. So great to get another little kind of stop there, making sure that momentum doesn't get started too early for him. Here, 5 is going to have the ball middle. He's going to send it over to 4. 4 is going to be guarded by Rob. Rob's going to send it over to 2. A5 is going to get him to the corner, block it. Phoenix is going to have a chance to maybe block that one as well. He does get that one. He sends it over to me. I'm going to have a nice little opportunity here to kind of slow it down, give it over to Rob, and push a little bit farther up. So there I was kind of playing last man, more of a cherry picker, or watching the goalie and the other guy at the top of the field. So that's one thing you'll see a lot, is you actually don't want to zone in and go and crash in the zone, and then have like 3 in the box. I know a lot of people like doing that. I don't like doing that for the most part, because when you get these deflects, when you get these tackle situations, it's just going to get reset to their team because you have nobody in the middle of the field to actually grab the ball. So if you want possession of the ball, unfortunately, you can't send everybody to the box. There's a really unfortunate scenario for us. Looks like we kind of overcommitted. We did a slide and everything for that ball, and then we got put behind. So they did have a decent opportunity already, 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. So that is not good for us. We need to make sure we're playing our game still and sticking to our game plan, and kind of doing what we do usually. So we're going to send this back to Friend, maybe doing a cross here. We haven't done a cross in a little bit, so let's see if we can get a cross going. Here we got a cross. I'm going to get this placed right side. I was hoping Phoenix could come back around and grab that ball, but he was not ready for it. But that's something we're going to be trying to do probably a little bit more, just because it is open a lot of the time. They're at a little bit of lag. Obviously, you can see the server's kind of lagging for me. I definitely thought I had that ball. 2, sending it across over to 3. Rob's going to have the ball. He's going to try to get it to me just a little bit too far to the, behind me, I guess. And I don't know really what they're trying to do here, but they are trying to slow it down. And that's something they haven't done very often, is slow it down. They do get a decent spot on the middle of the box, though, when they do slow it down. So they got a 1-2 to the middle of the box. Friend, one of the best keepers, like I said, around, so he's going to grab that ball very easy. Rob's going to have this. He's going to send it over to me in the corner. I'm going to try to get a 1-2 back to him, but they do kind of cut that off, so I need to be a little bit more careful. And I do thankfully get that pass number 2 over to Phoenix. Phoenix is going to send that back to Friend. So 0-0. They're looking a lot better this game so far, but we're just looking a little bit worse as well. So again, we just got to get back to our game plan and start executing where we want to be on the field, as well as what we want to do. So Friend's gonna have the ball here. If I'm in this situation and I could go back, I would typically go for something a little bit different than just a cross. So hopefully we don't go for a cross here. I kind of forget what we end up doing, so I'm curious to see what happens. As Rob has the ball, he's going to send that over to Friend. We do go for another cross. It's not even a terrible idea. We just haven't executed those really that well recently. And we do really well in the future of this tournament and in other scrims, but our missiles have not been as good as we have been in the past. So hopefully we can get that going again as we get possession. Friend's going to have this ball, and I'm going to push up here on the left side. Friend's going to have 1 pushing him. He's going to send it over to Rob. Number 2 is going to be chasing Rob down from really half field all the way to this corner. Rob's going to kind of run around with that ball for a second. Phoenix is going to send this one up and hopefully get it over to me. He does. I kind of misjudged how high that ball went in the air. I thought I would get an indicator, but because of how high he put it, I didn't get the indicator as soon as I EE'd. So we are back now. 2 minutes left, 0-0. I'm going to be pressing 5. I'm going to be running over to 3 to kind of double team. Should have stayed with 5, though. I did call out that one as being my bad. Should have definitely stayed with 5 because he's in the middle of the field. There's no point. And there we get a perfect missile. So this is one thing that you'll see on transitions. The missile does work well because that goalie had one option. He had to had 2 options. He either could come out like he did, which was, obviously not the option to come out of the box like that, or he could have stayed in the net, and I would have just held onto the ball and had a 1v1. I would rather, in his scenario, be on a 1v1 island than have an automatic shot to the back of the net because you overextended. So obviously he knows he made a mistake, I believe, but that does give us a 1-0 lead here with 1:30 left, and we were struggling to score a little bit more this game than previous games. So that's kind of an unfortunate error. As I'm watching number 3 here cutting on the cross, they love to do some of these like give and goes as well and try to get opportunities with short passes. They just typically don't work near as well on our team because we have so many good defenders. But we do try to get that ball out of the corner, but they do get a pass over to 2. from there, honestly, I'll let them shoot any day on friend, though. That's not close enough to beat friend majority of the time. But friend says, here, get another chance. He sends it over to 2, which sends it to 4, which gets a great look on net. Here, I'm going to send this over to Phoenix. He's wide open. So he's actually going to go for a solo play there after the pass. Doesn't actually work out. They do block the header. I'm going to send it back to Rob. Rob's going to have the ball. He's going to send it right up to me. But it's an error because you really got to get that ball out. 40 seconds left. We are winning. And then he tries to send it back to goalie, and they are blocking that off. So their first goal of the game is really us giving them the goal, which is crazy to think about. Like, the only goal they've scored in the entire series is this misplay where Rob throws it back to the goalie, and the goalie is cut off the goalie line. So assuming there was no communication that there was a somebody in that goalie line. Obviously, Rob needs to look too, but we should be communicating that there's somebody there. So just a kind of a pressured or rushed situation for Rob because he's in that corner just trying to get that ball out as he knows we're winning, and we just need to kind of reset. Here, thankfully, we are going to get a cross that does get reset over to Rob. Rob's going to send this back to A5. A5 is going to be looking across to me. He's going to miss it, but it does get through because of the jump. I'm going to send a perfect line. I will say, guys, I don't talk about how perfect things I do are very often or how good I am very often, but this, in my opinion, was a perfect pass. I mean, I don't know. It was a perfect judgment of exactly where Phoenix would be at the right time, and I'm very happy about that pass. 2-1. We have 10 seconds left, and this could secure the 3-0 sweep in the series. And again, their only goal coming from pretty much us. This is just a good feeling. So we do have 0 seconds left. This is their last attempt. Let's see what they end up doing. They're going to send this over to 2. 2 is going to be looking around the field. We're going to be kind of just sitting back in box here, making sure there's nothing easy in the middle of the box. I'm fine with friend taking anything else. Again, he hasn't let anything in the net, really, that is a regular shot. So we're going to just sit at the top of the box, make sure they get nothing easy, and there's the header to end the game. So this was a great thing for us, and now we get to go play Finesse. And we'll talk about the Finesse series here tomorrow. So if you guys want to see more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on